Worksheets 416 and 417 will be covered in this video. 416 is labeled Revenue versus Expense 1. That means you have control over one column. And 417, Revenue versus Expenditure 2, gives you control over two columns. We are looking at revenue and expense for the Bay School District in this video. We are looking at all 5 years, and we have the transfer filter checked. Or sometimes you'll want the transfer filter checked, or sometimes you will not. In this example, we're going to go ahead and just look at the operating fund. This is quickly just going to make a comparison between any revenue or expenditures within the operating fund, Fund 2. You'll notice we start with the beginning balance. We have the revenue, 9.6 million, expense of 9.7, and then end balance slightly less than the year before. In FY20, you'll notice just the opposite takes place. A growth year for the district started off with 904,000. You see our revenue minus expenditures, and there's our new ending balance. Now, of course, you have to have transfers checked in there to get an accurate readout for operating. One of the most common ways I see this used is in food service. Schools are wanting to see how their food service fund is operating with regards to being negative or positive for the year. And in this case, take the transfer out because we don't want to see any transfers that took place at the end of the school year to bail out that federal program. The school district, in this case, revenue $340,000 exceeded by $397,000 in expenditures, so an ending balance of $57,000. So when you take a look at that, you can say, how's our food service program progressing? Maybe we've changed over to an outsourcing component, and now the district is meeting or exceeding the expenditures with their revenue. Of course, the COVID year in food service is going to show almost every district out there with a lot more revenue than expenditures. So that's kind of an anomaly. But then you also can see how is the school district on track for this school year. Obviously, this year is not complete. Basically, you're just making a comparison between revenue and expenditures for any item that you want to take a look at with 416. 417 does the same thing, however, you have control over two columns. So remember, you can change anything you want to look at in column 1. I can look at here by fund, source of fund, object, source of fund groups, or object groups. And then, of course, the same thing down below. So if I want to take a look at that by having control over two columns, I use 417. A simple analysis, revenue versus expenditures, I'll use 416.